Hello everyone, welcome back to the FPLAF series. My name is Amel and as usual I'm with my co-host Seska Khalid from the right there. And as you can see I'm in a, let's just say decent setup and it's because I'm on holiday and I got the chance to visit the FPLAF secret headquarters as Fandok said from previous video. But anyway, Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates it and also happy holiday to all of you and hopefully this game we can bring us joy to everyone, including us.
Yeah.
So yeah, in this video, we're going to discuss our match reviews, which include prediction and also some player highlights for the upcoming game week, which is game week 15, and hopefully it can help with your perception as well. So yeah, let's move on with the video.
Yeah. So the first up we have Leicester against Manchester United. So yeah, Leicester win one match against Spurs last game week. Most potentially because they can manage to counter the Spurs attack. But they play against Manchester United. Manchester United got big win actually 6-2 against Leeds. With Scott McTominay got a brace. I think 3 minutes in the game. So yeah, for me it was very I think I was surprised with the results. Like whoa 6-2 okay. And also I think it was this morning on our time that United win against Everton on the AEFL Cup. The goal scored by Cavani and Martial in the really last minute. So with the current squad, I think Leicester squad is full. I think no one got injury except Ricardo Pereira. Manchester United all good. Oh sorry. On the AFL Cup is the full for Scott McTominay and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but for this game, the game week, we will not know for sure. For this match, I will go with actually with Manchester United win by 3-1. Why? Because Leicester form in home for me is really bad, but Manchester United form away from is really good. But yeah, I think we all know that on the match against Sheffield, Manchester United was very lucky actually to can just win because they managed to hold on against Sheffield's attacking. Yeah. So Manchester United win by 3 goals and Leicester maybe score 1. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm actually going with 3-2 win for Manchester United because, yeah, as we all know, Manchester United away form is still 100%, and they usually score like 3 goals or something. I don't know why. And then maybe like I think they actually perform really well against big teams. So I do think that maybe Vardy will perform well again on this match. So I'm expecting that he will score at least 2. And meanwhile, for Manchester United, I think that we can count on Bruno and also Martial as usual because they are both on good form. And mentioning about the injury, I think Leicester is still without Soyuncu and also Pereira, as you said. And Pereira is actually having a groin injury, but the status is unknown return date. So I think it's bad, and we don't really know what actually happened to him and when he will be back. And meanwhile, as you also said, that Manchester United will be without Wan-Bissaka and also McTominay potentially because they both injured. So yeah, considering the situation, I think that I will go with a 3-2 win for Manchester United.
Okay. Next up we have Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. Aston Villa win 1-3-0 against West Brom, and I think from us is this kind of expected to Aston Villa get a win. With Anwar El Ghazi got brace. Yeah, I think El Ghazi is the one who took the penalty on the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace got hammered by Liverpool. Yeah, I think that is one hell of a match, and Liverpool somehow managed to score 7 and concede 7 in a
Yeah,
season. Yeah.
Manchester United also did that, this.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, oh yeah. I just
and
realized.
it was on the and it was on the same week as well. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a setup or something or it's just coincidence. I don't know.
Ada.
Yeah, feel pro.
Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah. Whatever. But okay. I think Aston Villa form for me right now is good, but they not. Sometimes they can just get lost many, but also you can win many. So yeah, for me they are inconsistent. But I think for the last two games they are somehow can manage a win against West Brom, and before that it was Wolf. Yeah. Um, I don't really think Aston Villa will do many changes for this match. Crystal Palace also need win this match to build the confidence within the team. See, like the team, I think the team still actually centered around Zaha. So yeah, if Zaha can rally the team to win this match, maybe. But the play style, I think Aston Villa will play it with Grealish as usual, and Crystal Palace will do the counter things. What will happen to this match? I'm not really sure, but I think I will predict a draw, maybe a draw by 2-2. So what do you think?
Okay, I'm going with Aston Villa win, 2-1 win for Villa. Just simply because I think that both teams are actually in okay form overall. If we don't see the Crystal Palace result last game week, I think that it's really okay in form. But Villa actually got I don't know, like a lot of good attacking options. Like right now, apart from Greece, I think that you can count on Gazi. I think he's a much better finisher than Watkins, and he's also on penalty as well, and he didn't miss. And apart from those two, I think that you can also count on Traore because from last 2 game weeks, he actually offered like good crosses in the box. So I think that he could, have some assists or two in this game. So maybe from the Crystal Palace side, I think that, yeah, as you said, that they will still center their attacking on Zaha. But as Benteke is back, I think it would help them. And apart from the injury concern, I think that Crystal Palace has no player concern apart from Cahill. And Aston Villa still without Trezeguet and Konsa. And Barkley might be back as well because he was on training. I think that if Barkley is back, it will help Aston Villa. And if he don't, I think that Aston Villa will still win this one by 2-1.
I think that sums up. Next up we have Fulham, Southampton. What do you think about this match?
Okay, so Fulham got draw result against Newcastle 1-1, and also Southampton lost 1-0 against City. So I don't think, as we said before, that maybe Southampton may be a bit of unlucky to get lost against City because he actually played really well, but Ings was injured in that match in early minutes, so that might affect the attacking option. But I think that both teams actually in good form overall, like from attacking and also defending. Like Fulham is actually improving really well. I think that leading for Fulham attacking, I think Lookman is still looking really good. And also for Southampton, because they don't teams, maybe like Adams or Walker might step up due to Ings injury. And maybe from injury, Fulham will be without Cavaleiro. He is currently on 75% chance of playing. And Southampton actually missing a lot of key players, so I'm a bit concerned about that. So they will be missing Ings, Redmond, Armstrong, and also Vestergaard because they were all injured. Yes, I just saw that the team news that they got a lot of injuries, and I don't think that they're 100% ready to start. I don't know about that. And also Oriol Romeo suspended until December 29th. So yeah, that will affect them as well. So yeah, considering those facts, I think that I'll just go with a draw actually, with a 1-1 draw for both teams.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Yeah, well, that changed everything, see, with the Southampton injury. I think Fulham can only manage a draw. Yeah, I don't think I can say much about this match because all the team feels the same. Yeah, as of right now. Okay, next up we have Arsenal against Chelsea.
So yeah, as we all know, Arsenal lost 2-1 versus Everton, and Chelsea won 3-0 against West Ham. So yeah, Arsenal lost again, and they continue their bad form. Meanwhile, Chelsea actually currently bouncing back after two straight defeats before the last game week. And I think that Chelsea will be missing like Chilwell and James and maybe still Ziyech, and I think that might affect their defense and also their attacking, kinda. And meanwhile, Arsenal will be without Auba and Partey, so it will again affect their attacking. But I don't think that it will affect much for Arsenal. So I think I'll just go with the 2-1 win for Chelsea actually, because I think that if Tammy plays, I think that he can get a goal or two. Apart from Tammy, I don't know. I think it's a bit difficult to predict who's going to score for Chelsea, as as we all know that they have a lot of attacking players. So yeah, I just think that I'll just go with a 2-1 win for Chelsea, and I don't know who will score, but maybe Tammy. How about you?
Uh, since Chelsea will be without their attacking fullbacks, I think Lampard realized that when like this James and Chilwell plays, their their wings position is kind of empty because when this James or Chilwell attack, they gone back to defense is really slow. Yeah, so that's why I think on the last two match when they play together, Chelsea just lost. Yeah. Um, and actually when they play West Ham, they can win because their fullback is Aspi, and the other one is since Chilwell is injured, I think it's Emerson actually. Yeah. So when I think because I think both fullbacks can just more on defense rather than attack. I think it just makes Chelsea the advantage to win the last match. So for this match, I think Chelsea without Ziyech is kind of screwed up. But if they play like the usual, I think Arsenal will just give them the goal actually. I think I will go with Chelsea win by 3-0 because I feel like Arsenal is really that bad see right now. On to the next one, we have Manchester City against Newcastle. I think we'll go for this. I don't really have to talk much because I think both teams just playing just like that. City is really lucky to get a win against Southampton. But the gameplay is just not not any difference like before. Newcastle managed to get Newcastle managed to get a draw on the league, but they lost against Brentford in the EFL Cup. So I think Manchester City can win big C by 3-0. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm going with a 2-0 win for City. Just because, as you said, like both looks okay, but nothing changed really much. But I think that Newcastle still like soft attacking and also still has gaps in the defense. So I think like maybe KDB and Sterling can pair up to score a goal or two here. And maybe from Newcastle, yeah, we can count on Wilson, but like he doesn't perform really well as we expected, I guess. So I think that Manchester City will still win this one comfortably. I think with a 2-0 win because I don't think that Darlow is that bad as the Newcastle goalkeeper. And I think that City is still kind of struggling to get a lot of goals. But I don't know what will happen in this match. I could be wrong. but I will still go with a 2-0 win.
Okay. Next up, we have Sheffield United against Everton. This is for me is most likely Everton win because we know Sheffield form. Sheffield is very unlucky actually in the last match against Brighton. I think they
Yeah.
managed to score one, but Brighton managed to score a goal on really last minute. Yeah. Everton on the other hand managed to win against Arsenal with Calvert-Lewin goal, but counted as
No,
own
no,
goal.
no. Yeah,
As a
probably.
goal, and then another goal comes from Yeremina on the corner kick
Hmm.
from the set piece, corner pit service set piece. Okay. Since Sheffield plays like this, like that, they are very open actually to attack. When with teams like Everton, I think Everton can manage to win this. So I think I will predict like a 2-0 win for Everton. So what do you think?
Okay, I'm actually going with a 2-1 win for Everton, just because, like, as you said, that Sheffield was unlucky against Brighton that they concede. It's just because Welbeck, they stopped in Welbeck. Like, after they stopped Welbeck, and then they score, and then he scored. And yeah, Sheffield conceded again. So on the other hand, Everton won against Arsenal and they are on a winning streak. So I think that they're on a really good form. So I'm rooting for Everton for a win in this game, just because Sheffield United started to play more attacking and they started to score goals. I think that they can have a goal, maybe from Montgomery, and maybe from Everton. I think like we can still count on Calvert-Lewin and Sigurdsson for goals. Oh, and actually Sheffield is missing a lot of key players, just like Southampton. So they will be without Lancer because he got a red card from last game week. And then McBurney, Birch, Liz Muse, and also O'Connell is injured. So they won't be available for the next game. And I think that it will be a problem for Sheffield. Meanwhile, Everton might as well missing Richarlison, still Rodriguez, Digne, and also Delp because of injury. So I don't know if Richarlison will start on the next game. So that might affect things, but I will still go with Everton win, 2-1.
Yeah, next up we have Leeds against Burnley. Leeds managed loss, big loss for them, but yeah, I think they will play like that that kind of thing, which is really good for us. Burnley on the other hand managed to get a win against Wolf. Very surprising. I don't know what happened that back then, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think we always know the Wolf somehow is inconsistent with their attacking form. Like somehow managed to get win, managed to get loss. Yeah, and Burnley just lucky because they can score 2 goals against the Wolf. Yeah, they're and
Mm.
yeah. So for this match, I think Leeds will play just like that. Burnley will go defense. Since last time Leeds play at home they win. I think they can manage to win this also, but I will go with just 1-0 for Leeds. What do you think?
Okay. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Leeds because as we as we can see, how Leeds play, they good on attacking but somehow bad defending. But meanwhile, Burnley started to play more attacking and got pretty solid defense as well. So I think that from the last game week against Wolves, I think that Burnley actually played good counter attacking. But meanwhile, I think that as you can see from Leeds, they have a lot of good players. But I think that one that like can be highlighted is Rafinha actually, because I saw that from few game weeks ago that he's looking pretty good, and he actually played really good for last 2 game weeks because he provided assists. And meanwhile, for Burnley, I think apart from Wood, Brownhill also got good defense from last game week, so maybe we should see what he can do for this match. So apart from that, I think that Leeds will still have the advantage because they have a lot of good attacking options. So I think I will go with the 2-1 win for Leeds.
Okay. Oh, let's yeah. Rafinha is a good PL option sih if you want to
Yeah.
bet on that. Okay. Asaf against West Ham against Brighton.
Okay. So West Ham lost 3-0 against Chelsea, which was really unexpected because I didn't see it coming. And meanwhile, Brighton drew against Sheffield United. I think that West Ham kind of losing their, like their mojo at the moment because they're looking a bit sloppy at the back, and I don't know their lack of goals from recent games, so it doesn't look good for them. Meanwhile, Brighton actually looks kind of meh because like they're not really good on attacking or defending, so I think they're just okay. So I don't think that we can expect big things from these two actually for this moment. But if I should highlight any player, maybe from West Ham still Bowen, and from Brighton still Welbeck. So I actually will go with a draw because just fun fact from the last three meetings for these two teams, they actually managed to get all draw results, 3 draw previously. So I think I will still go with a draw with this one, with a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
So what do you think?
I think I will go with just same with you. I don't really see many difference with the both of their performance. Yeah. Except maybe if I think if Welbeck play full 90 minutes, it will make a difference for Brighton City. And also West Ham actually still without Antonio. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Their crucial player actually. Okay. Next up, we have Liverpool against West Brom. I don't want to say much about this because I don't know. I think I will just go with 4-0 win for Liverpool because the home form is really good. The last game away against Crystal Palace is really magnificent, even without Salah to play in the full 90 minutes. And West Brom just lost big also against Aston Villa. I think it was the first. It was Sam Allardyce's first match, but I don't think can do any difference against Liverpool. But what do you think?
Okay, so yeah, as you said, the Liverpool just won big against Crystal Palace, and West Brom also lost 3-0 against Aston Villa. So this could end really bad for West Brom actually. So yeah, as we all know that Liverpool is dangerous and attacking. Meanwhile, West Brom concede a lot of goals. So I think that since it's a home game, I think that Salah will score big in this match because it's his specialty. And also West Brom will be without Livermore because he was suspended last game week. So that might affect things for West Brom for worse or better. But I will still go with the 4-0 win for Liverpool. As soon as yours.
Okay.
Unexpected.
Okay. Last up, this is a kind of important match for Spurs and for Wolves both. Yeah. So what do you think? So because they're both are lost last time.
Yeah. So Wolves unexpectedly. Let me just say that both teams unexpectedly lost last game. So I think that their recent forms are not really good. I think it's full of loss and draws. So I don't really know how this one will go. I'm actually going with still 2-1 win for Spurs, just because I think that if like Wolves still missing their key players, and maybe they will be without Dylan Cresswell, I think that they will be lacking that attacking option apart from Neto and Podence and Fabio Silva. Because from the last game week that I saw that they didn't really attack much, apart from the penalty as well. I think that it might end with a no goal for Wolves. So I think that they're struggling a little bit there. Meanwhile, Spurs also struggling at the moment, and they will be without Post also as well because he is injured. So they will be missing Pulisic as well. But still, Dombele and I think that they might be okay. So yeah, I'm going with a 2-1 win, hopefully.
Okay. I think I will go with a draw actually for this one. Actually, Tottenham managed to get a bounce back because they won against Stoke City in the FA World Cup. Yeah. But yeah, I think as you can say, Wolves don't really do much. Tottenham still struggle the last 2 game weeks. So yeah. Yeah, for the best actually for the FPL players. Okay, I think that is all for us. Actually, the important is that we will be starting our new channel YouTube. So yeah,
Yeah.
Just to watch you up.
Stay
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hope you all have a good FPL game week. Yeah, and we see you next videos. Bye bye.